I just spent the past 2 hours watching the Johnny Depp trial, and I swear I've never watched anything more interesting. Like 2 hours just staring at my phone watching it, and I was not bored for 1 second. It's so good. I literally didn't want to stop. But anyways, back to real life for a second. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. This is going to be an everyday makeup routine, and this has been my makeup routine for, I would probably say, like a week, maybe a week and a half. So it hasn't been that long at all since I started doing this routine, but I genuinely feel like I've never loved the way my makeup looks as much as I like it right now. So I was like, I gotta share this with the internet. Like, I gotta tell you guys what I'm using, how I'm using it, how it's looking. So if you're interested in watching my everyday makeup routine, then keep watching. I feel like a beauty guru. Okay, so I haven't even done like my skin prep or anything because I want to show you guys what I've been using before I actually do my makeup, because I feel like that makes the biggest difference. Before, I would only use moisturizer and then throw on my makeup, but now I added in 2 extra steps and I genuinely see the biggest difference ever. So first, I go in with my vitamin C serum. I've been using the Bliss Bright Idea vitamin C. I've only been using this for probably like a week, I would say, but I'm looking for vitamin C serums because after I use this one, I want to try another one until I find one that I really love. Then I go in with my CeraVe Moisturizer. I have dry skin, so I probably should have mentioned that. I have like really dry skin, so like half of the products that I use are glowy or dewy or like some sort of like hydrating, so it like doesn't make me look super dry. I don't know. Next is a product that I am obsessed with and I probably will rebuy until the end of time. I'm using the Supergoop Glowscreen. Okay, can I open this? So I had the full-size bottle and it literally lasted me, I would probably say, like 6 months. And then I ran out of the full-size bottle, so I didn't rebuy it because I don't know why. I just felt like, oh, I don't really need to rebuy it, it's whatever. And then a couple weeks after I stopped using it, I was like, wait, why do I absolutely hate how my makeup looks? Like, I literally hated it. I was like, I look crusty, I look fugly, I hate how my makeup looks. And I was doing pretty much everything the same except the glow screen step. And that's when I decided that I will be rebuying this for like the rest of my life. So that's basically my skin prep. That's what I do before I put on any makeup, and I swear those steps make the biggest difference. The next step that I do is I go in with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and this is a step that I really don't know if it does anything. It might actually not do anything at all. Every time I like how my makeup looks, I always use this, so now I'm like too scared to not use it just in case this is what's holding it all together. I think I put too much on. The next product that I use is another glowy product, and this is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. We've all seen this product literally everywhere. I solely got this because of TikTok. The only reason I got it is I just use like a little bit and I just kind of like put it there, and then I go in with my foundation. I also got the wrong shade because in the mini sizes there's not a lot of shades to choose from. And then I go in with this Morphe brush that's from like the Jaclyn Hill collection, and I just blend it out. I could totally use my fingers for this, but I just feel fancier with the brush. The next step is foundation, and I use my favorite foundation ever, which is the L'Oreal Infallible Wear. I literally have 3 of them because I'm obsessed. I've been using shade 430 as of recently, and I just do 1 pump right there, and then I just dot it everywhere and blend. I don't really love how the brush like blends it out, but I like how fast, you know, I can get it around my face. After I know that I got it everywhere with the brush, I go in with a damp sponge. One of the things that I recently learned, which I think actually helped me like love my everyday makeup routine a lot more, is that I realized blending is very important, because before it's like, okay, if it looked like this, I'd be like, okay, I'm good to go. And then later throughout the day, I'd be like, wait, why does my face look like cakey, or why is it like creasing, or why is it blending weird? And that's simply because I just didn't have the patience to blend it enough. Okay, so after I blended it out for a good amount of time, I go in with my concealer. I use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in shade Light Beige. I'm obsessed with this concealer. I don't even know how many tubes of this I've gone through, but it's a lot. Again, this is hydrating because I do have like super dry skin, especially dry under eyes, so if I use anything that's not hydrating, it's gonna crease really bad. And then I just apply it in these spots right here, around the nose, on the chin, and on the forehead a little bit. And then I just blend it out, and I start by tapping in here and then I take it up over here, if that makes any sense. I do my lid. I was gonna make this video also a Q&A, but I swear I just can't focus on 2 things at once, and I just get too carried away with like talking about the questions, and then I end up not explaining anything that I'm doing on my face, or I'll like totally forget about the questions and only focus on what's happening on my face. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take it 1 video at a time, and this is just gonna be makeup. Again, I just take my sweet time blending everything out. The next and new step that I've been doing is I do a little bit of cream contour, and this is the Maybelline Master Contour thingamabob. It's like double-sided, so that's like I think for highlighting. This is for contouring. I only use the contouring part. I just put a line there, a line over here, there, a little on my nose, and then sometimes if I'm feeling fancy, I'll do some on my eyelids. I'm not going to do it today, but I do it from time to time. And then I just use a little sponge and I blend it out. This part I do kind of quickly because I don't set my under eyes with powder until I've done all of my cream products. But if I don't hurry, my eyelids will crease like crazy. So I actually only recently started doing the cream contour. I was so scared of it before. I was like, oh my god, no, I'm not gonna know how to do it. It's gonna look super blotchy. So I just would skip it and not really do it. Until one day I actually saw the Maybelline contour stick and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna try it out. I don't know if all cream contours are like this, but this Maybelline one is so freaking easy to blend out. So if you're someone like me that's just barely getting into like cream contour, I definitely recommend that one because it blends out like it was never even there. And I use the shade Deep in 020. Okay, my next step is probably like my new favorite thing of all time. This is the e.l.f. Putty blush in shade Turks and Caicos. I'm obsessed with everything about this blush. The way that it goes on, the way that it looks, how easy it is to blend. You literally just get it like this and then you just throw it on. Look. Blush is honestly one of my favorite steps, so I am not like shy about it at all. I put a bunch on. I also have the Rare Beauty blush, which I love, but I feel like with that one I'm a little more like hesitant because I feel like really easily I can put on a lot. But this one, it's like you just throw it on. Oh, that was a lot. Oops. The Rare Beauty blush that I have though, I have it in shade Encourage. I do think this product is way better since it lasts way longer, but the shade in the e.l.f. one I think suits me a lot better for my everyday. Okay, now that I did all of my cream products, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my Laura Mercier powder. So I get some of the powder and then I just literally like push it into my skin. The mistake that I was making before with my powder is that I was putting a little bit on my sponge and then putting it on my eye and then just immediately taking it off with the brush. But now what I do is I press it into my eye and that helps with the creasing so much. If I'm feeling fancy, I'll also go like under the contour, but I'm not really feeling fancy today. If anybody remembers the Kat Von D palette that was like the biggest deal in like 2016, there was a shade in that palette that was like a banana yellow type of shade, and I would put that under my eyes, and I swear I've never found a shade that compares to that one, but I don't want to buy the palette just for that shade. But something that I do is I find a shade that's kind of like yellowy like this one in one of my palettes, and I gently tap it and put it under my eyes. I don't know if it does much, but I feel like it just brightens it a little bit and it helps set it even more. Next, I'm going to do my eyes, and I'm using my really old, really broken Morphe palette for this. So I just dip a little in there, dip a little in there, tap it, and put it everywhere. And another step for my eyes that I've really been loving is I go in with an even smaller fluffy brush. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH37 brush, and I go in with that same dark brown shade and I put it all over my under eye. Next, I go in with a little bit of bronzer, and I'm pretty sure this is a Rimmel London in shade Sunlight, and I just get a bunch of it, tap it, and I put it everywhere. Pretty much the same spot that I put the contour on, I go in and make it a little better with the bronzer. Next, I go in with a little bit of more blush, and this is the Milani Luminoso blush. Pretty much the cream bronzer and the cream blush, I go in afterwards and set it with like powdered blush and powdered bronzer. Next, I go in with my Milani Make It Last setting spray. I just ordered a new one of these, but I'm obsessed with this setting spray. If you're looking for a really good drugstore setting spray, I highly recommend this one. I pretty much drench my face in that before I go in with my highlighter. I'm still using my Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop. I will not get rid of it until I'm done with it. It still does the trick, okay? Like, it's still so good. Then I go in with a little bit more. And by a little, I mean a lot. Okay, I'm almost done, but the next step is eyebrows, and eyebrows used to be my least favorite step of my whole makeup routine. I hated doing my eyebrows because I didn't like love how they looked, and I wasted so much time doing it. But I used to use the Anastasia brow pomade. I was literally still living in like 2016 using the pomade. I used it for years because I just thought that's like what worked best. I was so wrong though, because that is before I started using the e.l.f. brow pencil. This is literally $3 at Target and $2 if you get it on Amazon. Every single e.l.f. product that I use I absolutely love, and the fact that their products are so inexpensive is amazing. I don't know how they do it, but they're so good and they're so cheap, like literally. And not even cheap, they're inexpensive, because cheap like makes you think they're bad. They're not. They're so good. I kind of just like do tiny little like hair like strokes, and then I try to do like a line to outline the bottom and the top. Look how sharp it looks. Like I could never achieve that look with my pomade, like, which I've used for years, but $2 is all it took. And it literally takes me like 2 seconds to do my eyebrows now, which before it was like a whole 5 minutes and a whole mental breakdown. Next, I'm just curling my eyelashes. Somebody please recommend me a good eyelash curler, because I swear this one is only doing like the bare minimum. I have to curl my lashes like 100 times each, only for it to make like no difference. Cool. Before I go in with my mascara, I go in with a little bit more setting spray. Okay, last step, but one of the most important steps, is mascara. I use the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara. I will use this mascara until my lashes fall off. I've literally been using this for like 7 years now. I've gone through, I don't even know how many of these. I've used high-end mascaras, I've used other drugstore mascaras, and none of them compare to this one. It's so freaking good. Last step before I do my lips, I go into this cute little Maybelline palette, and I get this shimmery shade. I get a little bit of that, and I just put it right in the inner corner, and it just makes my eyes pop a little more. For my lips, there's honestly never something that I do consistently. The one gloss that I do use probably every single day, it's in my car and I'm way too lazy to go get it, but it's the Maybelline, I believe, the gloss, the all day gloss. I'm gonna put it right here, and the shade that I use, because I absolutely love that gloss. It's so freaking good. It's not sticky. I use it almost every single day. But the one that I do have in my makeup bag is this Becca one in shade Truffle, and if I am gonna use a lipstick, this is the one that I usually go for. It's just a super like natural kind of color. I just put on like a little bit at the top, a little bit at the bottom, and I just blend it. I can't even feel my feet anymore, but I swear every time I do my makeup sitting down on the floor, it just comes out better than usual. Anyways, this is the finished makeup routine. I'm not going to call this a tutorial because that involves me teaching you something, and I'm not sure if I did that, but this is what I've been doing pretty much every single day. I'm obsessed with how easy and simple this makeup tutorial is, but I love every single product that I've been using currently. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Goodreads if you want to know what I'm currently reading. I'm actually currently reading this book. I couldn't put it down before I started filming. It's called The Roughest Draft. I'm on like chapter 5 or something like that, and it's so freaking good. So if you're looking for a good little rom-com to read, this one's really good. But yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram, follow me on Goodreads, all of that, and I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys really soon with another video. That was weird. Bye.